Good.
We're good?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's call this meeting to order today, May 15th at exactly 4:02 p.m. Is there anything that the administration wants to add to this agenda?
Nope.
Okay. Then what we'll do is we'll get a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll make that motion that we approve the agenda as presented.
Thanks, Patricia. All those in favor?
In favor?
Tricia
Tracy in favor.
John, yeah. Okay, thanks, John.
I'm in favor. Yeah.
Okay.
Tracy in favor.
Okay, thanks, got you all. That motion's carried. Can we have you had a look at the minutes of the last meeting? It was a fairly short one. Shouldn't be a problem. If there's nothing there that you see that needs to be changed, could I get a motion to approve those minutes?
It's Tracy. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from our last MPC meeting.
Thanks, Tracy. All those in favor?
In favor.
Patricia in favor.
Okay.
Tracy in favor.
Dallon's in favor.
Okay, that motion's carried. All right, we will move right on to the permit. Peter, go ahead.
Yep. So it says the applicant is looking to purchase, but I spoke with the applicant yesterday, who is in attendance here, and they did purchase. Is that true? Did purchase a 8.92 acre parcel with the legal description of Plan 9525305, Block 1, Lot 5, on part of Southeast 15912 west of the 5th. The application is for a transport contractor business minor. It is zoned country residential, and a transport contractor business minor is a discretionary use in that district. The application was referred to our infrastructure department. I didn't provide their comments because Steve was out sick. He actually called me today, and if I can relay what he said, as long as the applicant is abiding by our road bans and not making more than 4 to 5 trips per day in and out, then he would have no issue with that application. It is being referred to our Municipal Planning Commission for decision, as it is a discretionary use, and it was advertised in local newspaper for 2 weeks, and letters were sent to all adjacent landowners outlining this proposed development permit. Transport contractor business. Provisions for conditions to be considered for approval for that are outlined under sections 92 of our land use bylaw, and most of those have been included in the conditions if you decide to approve. And there were a number of letters of opposition received to date, and if you want the opportunity to go through those, I would welcome it. I'm assuming that a number of the people that wrote them are also in attendance today. The proposed development for transport contractor business minor is a discretionary use, and pursuant to section 21(1)(e, is being referred to myself as the development officer to the Municipal Planning Commission without a recommended action. The Municipal Planning Commission may consider the application to approve or refuse development permit application 15021-2024. And I gave you a list of reasons if you decide to, list of conditions if you decide to approve, and some reasons if you decide to refuse. Would you like me to go through those?
I'll ask the question of the members. Do you want Peter to go through some of those?
I've gone through the conditions already.
Okay. I have as well.
I'm good.
I've gone through, but maybe the people that are attending might want to understand the conditions.
For sure. I can just go through them.
Okay. Yeah, let's
So-
go through them.
If the Municipal Planning Commission considers approval for this permit, there are 13 conditions outlined that were recommended by myself. The first shall be limited to the approved dwelling and/or accessory building and shall be operated by the resident of that dwelling. It may include outdoor storage of materials relevant to operations stored in a storage area, provided that the storage area is screened from adjacent landowners. The transport contractor business shall be operated as a secondary use only and shall not change the principal character or external appearance of the dwelling and or auxiliary buildings which it is located. Shall not include vehicles which are equipped to transport hazardous materials such as explosives or liquid fertilizer. No commodity other than the product or service of the transport contractor business shall be sold on the premises. The transport contractor business minor development permit is for the parking of a maximum of 2 vehicles over 6,000 kilograms and their associated trailers. Any vehicles parked on-site or off-site as a result of this transport contractor business, in the opinion of the Development Authority, not be a source of inconvenience to the landowners or tenants. A transport contractor business shall not, in the opinion of the Development Authority, be a source of inconvenience, materially interfere or affect the use, enjoyment, or value of the neighboring properties by use of excessive noise, smoke, steam, odor, dust, vibration, or refuse matter which would not commonly be found in the neighborhood. If at any time any of the requirements of the transport contractor business have not, in the opinion of the Development Authority, been complied with, the Development Authority may suspend or cancel the development permit for the transport contractor business pursuant to the provisions in the Municipal Government Act. Shall contact the county's infrastructure department regarding road bans and overload and road use permits. Shall remove garbage and waste at developer's expense and keep the site in a clean and orderly manner. There shall be no mechanical or electrical equipment used with the transport contractor business which creates visual, audible, or electrical interference with radio or television reception to adjacent neighbors. And commercial vehicles shall be parked a minimum of 20 meters from the property line. This area shall be screened from view with fencing or landscaping that is to the satisfaction of the Development Authority when the site is abutting any residential district. And the reasons that I had here listed for if the Municipal Planning Commission decides to refuse would be that pursuant to Section 102 of the Land Use Bylaw, a transport contractor business minor is a discretionary use. Pursuant to that same section of the Land Use Bylaw, a transport contractor business is not considered a compatible use adjacent to multi-parcel residential subdivision. And then number 3 is pursuant to Section 78 of Woodlands County Land Use Bylaw. No use shall be allowed which may be offensive in the opinion to the Development Authority to a neighboring property owner or tenant. The word offensive implies sight, smell, noise, or anything that adversely affects a neighboring owner or tenant.
Okay, thanks, Peter. So I guess we'll open this one to discussion because this is one that we've, this is a country residential and because it's a discretionary use, I think, the members should weigh in on what their thoughts are, seeing is that this is part of what we are currently reviewing in our land use.
Yeah, Peter, just quickly, if before, maybe we could direct questions to the applicant first, and then after that point, then we can go to maybe some of the people of concern, and if he's answered any of their questions, and then if he hasn't, then they can direct their questions to him first.
Okay, yeah, that's a really good plan. Yeah, let's open the floor for that. And
Jacob, if you want to sit up front, you could totally.
so if there's any questions from the council commission members, could you direct them to the development person?
Bruce's hand is up.
Bruce, go ahead.
Excuse me.
Through the chair to the applicant, how many trucks do you have and how many trips per day?
I only have 1 truck and it would be 2 trips a day and always going in and leaving empty, never loaded.
So going in or going out in the morning, coming back at night?
Yep.
That would be the only trips?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Trish's hand is up.
Okay, go ahead.
Actually, you can go ahead with other questions, Peter. I have a comment when you get to that section, please.
Sure.
Okay,
Tracy has her hand up here.
yeah, go ahead, Tracy.
Hi, can you just clarify what the transport contractor's business is, please?
Yeah, so we have numerous applied for within the county. It is designed for log trucks, for people of the area to be able to park their log trucks on their property. It is outlined in that section that I attached here in their definitions where it says consisting of the use of a portion of approved. Basically, it's to allow for trucks that weigh more than a standard half-ton or truck and can gross max weight of 6,000 kilograms. The minor portion allows for a maximum of 2. The applicant is only going to be utilizing the 1. It can be used for welding trucks, pilot trucks, oil service field trucks, and non-trailer towing vehicles as well. Does that help at all? I could read it.
Yeah, it does. I
was
just wanted to clarify what, sorry, I just wanted to clarify what his applicant is for. Is he got log trucks?
It's one log truck, correct? One log truck.
Thank you very much.
Okay, is there anyone else? So this actually, all of the conditions do apply. It is a discretionary use, and so now maybe we could just ask the people that are in here that are, looking for answers, if they want to contribute anything to this.
Any of the other public members here, are you speaking?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Does anybody have any comments, questions, or concerns? Yes?
I would certainly like to comment.
Of course, yes, for sure. If you can just state maybe your name and where you live. I have provided a map of where all the adjacent landowner letters came from to all the people, even online. You should have gotten an email from Brenda, but yeah.
Yes, my name is Dale Penny. I'm here with my wife Helen. We're probably the closest residents to the property in question. My north fence is basically his south fence. I don't know if the members of the county are familiar with the elevations and so on of this little cul-de-sac.
I did go out there, yeah.
Yeah, well, the property in question is probably 35, 40 feet elevated above my property, basically where my house sits. Which means any access to a large truck, the only place on that property that's available to park is directly opposite my house. So you know what people do when they put up speakers, so they want everybody, they elevate them. So any noise from this operation basically is just come down over our property. Now, I'm assuming each of the members here would have read each of the letters that was submitted as far as the noise.
I did send it to them, yeah.
In my mind, the detrimental effect on our quality of life as far as what we moved into an acreage for, to be away from the hustle and bustle and the noise of the town. We moved up there for basically peace and quiet. Now, I don't have a problem with anybody making a living. I don't have a problem with heavy trucks on acreages. I have had friends that have done it, but they've all been large acreages where they're not parked, they're not operating, they're not running in close proximity to somebody else's bedroom window. I mean, we're just meters apart from where my house sits and from where the trucks would sit. The other point I would make is that I think it was you that told me if this is approved, it's automatically approved for as many as 2 of those trucks. So
We can,
right now it's 1.
just a note on that, we can limit a condition to have it only be 1 truck. Just to, as a counterpoint, but yes.
Yeah, I appreciate that, but
Yeah.
frankly,
I'm just, yeah.
that's not gonna sway me from,
I understand, I just wanted to give everyone perspective that there are conditions that we can apply to.
and like I said, if you guys have read my letter, basically I'm concerned about decreasing property values and basically a diminishing of the enjoyment that I get from my property.
What about the diesel fuels and stuff?
Yeah, noise and, you know, how much idling is gonna happen during the winter and all of those kinds of things, so. So thank you for
Yeah,
your
of course.
ears.
Does anyone have any questions directed to, was it Dale, sorry?
No, not to Dale.
Oh, sorry.
I have another question to the applicant.
Okay, go ahead, Bruce.
Through the chair to the applicant, are you gonna have a shop to park your truck in, or are you just gonna leave it outside?
There is a shop there, yes.
So the truck will be parked inside,
Yes.
so there will be no idling in wintertime, really?
No.
I went out there was a shop, and I was out there today, and there was a shop that looked large enough for the trucks. It was very large.
Could I make another point?
Of course.
That shop does not have a door.
It doesn't, we can always make them have a
It's
door.
basically a shed.
Yeah.
And one further question. Could we put that the applicant put like a 6 or 8 foot fence between them to kind of block their noise?
I don't, where, you want a large fence on, all around the whole thing, around where it's parked?
Mr. Penny is saying that the noise from,
You can apply whatever conditions you want to it. You can make it as
We
a
did
solid
on the
fence, you can
airport
make it a, yeah. You can make it any storage area fenced in, enclosed. The shop has a door, I don't, I'm not at the authority here to make that decision. That's why,
no, I'm just trying
yeah,
to
I
figure
understand.
out a way that we can appease both
Yeah.
the applicant and the resident, local residents.
Can I ask a clarifying question for that?
Sure.
Are you talking a fence on my property line?
No, yeah, on between the two of you.
Seriously? I
Well,
mean,
why not?
Because it's a residential lot, it's not a commercial lot. Can I clue you guys in on what happened here? Several years ago, somebody bought that country residential lot, put a pole barn up on it, and then started a major, not a major, but a large sandblasting industrial operation, a business. Now, how come there were no development? How come you have all these provisions now? So now this is an industrial site. It's no longer a residential site. So we're not gonna get a home put up there. We're gonna have another business, some kind of business up there. We don't want it. I was really angry when I got the letter. I talked to my neighbors. We're all angry about this because somebody in the past, who put up a barn, did he have a development permit? Did he comply with any of these provisions? No, he just made noise and ran a business. So now it's fair game for anybody. I don't think so. It's not happening.
I'm just curious if at that time, did you comment to the county at all then?
I live the furthest away, and most of the time I was at work somewhere, so it didn't bother me that much. It has from time to time. And poor Dale here, he lives beside him, and he would listen to that for 8 hours a day.
Right.
And I listen to it a lot.
No, I
And
understand.
there's no, where are the rules and the regulations? How come this guy had an industrial site? He was servicing the oil patch.
Right.
Ridiculous.
So, as a development officer, I typically deal with any sort of those complaints. I can't know where all the noise is coming from, but if somebody were to call a peace officer or to call me, I would deal with it in that circumstance. I haven't been here for very long. I've only been here for 2 years. But in my opinion, I don't think that past experience should dictate what's happening now. because it's one log truck that's going in and out, as opposed to, I would never allow for any sort of industrial business to be approved in the country
Why
residential.
now?
Why now? Because the applicant has applied for
Yeah,
it.
and the lot's already been sold to the applicant. Why has it been sold? That's another thing. These conditions should come up, it's only fair to whoever buys it to know in advance whether he's gonna be able to do this.
Well,
So now
I
he's.
did discuss with the applicant, and he did have the current landowner sign off. It did happen that this meeting date happened after, I guess, the sale closed. I was not a part of that. That's not necessarily my timelines. My timelines, I have certain timelines to meet in terms of when I refer to you guys, when we can hold a meeting every first and second Wednesday of the month, how often people are available. So I'm just answering that question.
Well, you see where we're coming from.
I understand all
We have
points
a
of
nice
view.
location, nice little subdivision there. Somebody came in and, disturbed us,
Right.
but we live with it, Somebody's making a living, and by that time it was in there, so it's kinda hard to get it out now.
No, I
How
understand.
we started it in the first place, I don't know, he just went and started it.
I can't speak to that. I wasn't here at the time, and I don't.
Okay,
But that's what's happening with this lot. Now he just flattened everything, put the pole barn up and started a business in there, so now everything's fair game.
That's not true. But
so let's get some order here again. So what I would like to know, Peter, is there a possibility that we can just have I'm not familiar with where the property is. The other part that shows up for me in the reasons to not approve
yeah,
is relevant as well.
yeah, for sure.
So do we really should we, I don't feel that I'm comfortable myself seeking a decision on this today, because if there is a current business going on up there that shouldn't be happening.
There's there's nothing happening now. I was out there today. There's nobody out
Okay.
there. The applicant here has recently taken possession. I don't even know if he resides there yet.
We don't.
Okay.
No. But yes, all I can speak to is the application that's in front of me.
Okay, because this is a fundamental problem with this country residential, and then the discretionary use being a minor situation, and I'm not, myself, I'm not 100% comfortable right now with this.
Right.
So I'll let some of the other members on the commission weigh in on this.
I would like to add a comment here as well, Peter, if that's okay.
Of course.
Yes, it is.
Peter.
Okay. So Patricia McNeil here. I read through the application and I read through all the letters of concerns, and I just would like to state that both for the applicant and for the residents of concern, that I think the ability to enjoy your property as well as the ability to do business are things that are incredibly important, and I really support business in the community as well. In looking at it, with it being a discretionary use and seeing that this property is at the head of the cul-de-sac, and some of the information that was brought forward in the letters of concern, I can really clearly see the neighbors have expressed that quite clearly. And as a discretionary use with that in mind, the other thing that, kind of weighs in on my decision is we do have subdivisions in the county that were specifically designed for country residential business, where they've already been pre-developed to be able to handle this type of business. So my concern, I guess, with that is seeing the support from the residents and, and their concerns, and seeing where the lot is located in the subdivision. If the lot was maybe adjacent to the highway where you didn't have to drive through everybody else's property, past everybody's property, then I might be more inclined to approve it. But at this point, those would be my concerns. And with the information I have in front of me at the moment, I'd be inclined to vote against this application.
Okay, Councillor Burrows and then Councillor Kush.
So, two questions. Well, I don't want to limit myself. I might ramble on. So I'm going to ask the applicant, and it's funny, I was looking at the picture as to why all the trees are wiped out on that lot. Like, it has an air of either I have plans bigger than this, or it was doing something else. So the fact that it was doing something else kind of tells me why that lot's so cleared off. And I'm trying to get some terminology down. So when we talk about running a business, are you trying to run a business out of there, or are you an owner operator of a log truck and bringing this thing home at the end of the day and leaving it in the morning?
That's correct. I'm owner operator, and I would leave in the morning and come back home for the night.
And this is one truck?
One truck, one trailer.
Okay. That's all I'm gonna ask for right now. Oh, the second part, sorry, Mr. Chair. We could ask for a delay until we get a site visit on this too.
We have done that.
That may be, it's not really in our options.
True.
But
But we can just table the decision.
It's not the first time we've asked for a table of something like this to actually physically go and see a site visit so that we can stand there and see what's going on, just as a matter of option for the rest of the
I did
board.
not say that, but that's totally an option.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, Councillor Kush, would you like to weigh in there, please?
Yeah, I got a couple things. Firstly, just the concern that a couple of the residents have brought up about the evaluation of property having a CRB kind of listed next to their property. That comes up a bunch, and just, you know, from what we've seen from a development standpoint, or if you look at the assessment standpoint, there's really been no argument to sustain that. So I just want to kind of keep that in the back of people's minds. But as far as the development itself for the permit, and again, I don't know the operator. I understand what they want to do. I mean, people buy places in the country, especially if you feel that you can do this, or, you know, you have the room and you have the space, and having the ability to, you know, bring your trucks home and whatnot at the end of the day, I agree with. The issue that I have here is being that this is at the end of a cul-de-sac in more of a smaller acreage, condensed area. It is, yes, the impact on the residents, and has been very voiced by just about every resident in that cul-de-sac. We had another area that we had to deal with, and this was Peter will know the story on this one, Peter McKay, where we had a gentleman, had a CRB, had permits for his truck. He did, you know, everything to the T, everything worked well. Seemed like the scope of his operation kind of changed slightly over a couple of years, and then a permit that was you know, okay, and had no concerns with the issues, started causing problems with neighbors, with idling times and moving the, just, he was, the operator was trying to be cognizant of everybody else and their ability, you know, we'll say, in and out of the roads, and not wanting to interfere with localized traffic. But by doing that, ended up putting him leaving early in the morning and coming back late at night, and just the trucks running and dust and, you know, everything extra from a large truck was causing concerns for the neighbors. So I kind of echo with what Patricia said. You know, this was on the end of the cul-de-sac, you know, more right off the road, and not towards the backside where you have all of the traffic, or all the other residents and driveways and people to go by. I might be a little bit more in support of it, but just, you know, the fact that, you know, I feel this is going to be something that if we approve the you know, in protecting the guy, the applicant also, if we approve it, I promise you, like, he's probably gonna do everything he can to meet all the conditions and do everything that's on there to not cause, you know, any issues or any concerns with the neighbors. But given what he's doing and where it is, I just think it's going to be something that in the end is just going to be an issue on our development committee, an issue on our our staff, because we're going to be busy policing something that, perceived issues, or, whether they are or not. I just think it's going to be a headache later on. So that's kind of where I'm at in this one.
Okay, thanks, Dave. Patricia, you have your hand up?
Sorry, Peter, can I just make a comment based on what Dave said?
Sure can. Yes?
So based on that circumstance that we had dealt with in the past, obviously enforcement had to come in, which involved myself and peace officers. And I did just want to, and every circumstance is different where they're driving the location on hills and all that sort of thing. But I did call Dustin, our CPO, and just to see if there are a number of noise complaints, and there was just that one. So I'm not saying that maybe people don't know to complain, but there was just the one noise complaint for a transport contractor business when we have 50 plus approved in the county. And I'm not saying that I just wanted to add that as a detail because I did speak with Dustin today.
Okay. Patricia, did you still want to weigh in there?
No, thank you. I just forgot to take my hand down. I apologize.
Oh, okay. So is there anyone else that'd like to comment? Yeah, Mr. Burrows?
This is a tough one because by all accounts, it sounds like we got an individual who just wants to bring his truck home at night and have a place to park it. That to me isn't running a business. I understand the residents, and I completely understand where you're coming from in the past. That shouldn't have been allowed to happen, to run a business like that. And yeah, that shouldn't have happened. And this is one of the reasons why we're looking at, industrial uses of property and what that exactly constitutes. At the moment, we don't. We're dealing with the bylaws that we have in front of us right now. But and the example of the CRB, I think, is a little weird because CRB is CRB. This is country residential, is a discretionary. So this, I would like to see a site visit on this, and there. I just want to respond to one comment too from one of the residents, and they were talking about, the municipality kind of allowing a sale to go through. We have nothing to do with allowing sales to go through or not go through. And I guarantee you wouldn't want to live in a world where municipalities could block sales of land. You really would hate that place. So I would
take if all of us write a letter and all of us are negative, what's it gonna take? Legal, like a lawyer? What do we have to do?
Well, I will say that either if this gets approved or refused, you can appeal the decision either way. So I'm just letting you know that.
I would like to see a site visit on this one. I would make a motion that we table this until we can schedule a site visit.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Is there anyone else that would like to weigh in on the discussion? Bruce, is your hand up?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
With the site visit, is there any way we could have the applicant bring his truck home while we're there just to see how much noise it makes?
I don't know if I can make him.
But would the applicant be okay with doing that?
Yes.
Just so we see how much noise it does make and how much dust there is.
I can do that.
It'll work to your favor and their favor. If it's too noisy, then it's in their favor.
Do we really have to?
Well,
You really have to listen to a logging truck, and
well, we have to be fair to both.
it's a gravel road.
We have to be fair to both parties.
Well, I think the motion on the floor is to have a site visit. I think that would probably clarify a few things. And the other one is in section C, and that pursuant to section 78 in the land use bylaw, offensive is sight, smell, noise, or affects neighboring owner or tenant. And obviously the conversation that the gentleman had was the sight part and the smell, and this is a discretionary use. I think it serves a purpose for us to, entertain the idea of having a site visit before we make a decision. So, is there anyone else that wants to comment on this motion? If not, I'll call the question. Are all those in favor?
Mr. Chair, you have one member of the gallery that's
Sorry,
asking.
you can't see the gallery, but there
You
was a
can't,
hand up.
Yeah, I
see
can't
them,
see.
so-
Okay.
Marcel Gravis, my wife and I own the 2 properties just east of this proposed development. If you're familiar with the site, you'll see all the way from the shop, all the way down the subdivision road, which we call Matthew Road, till at the intersection where it hits a stop sign on Range Road 120 is all downhill. So every time this trucker will be running his truck down the hill, he'll be using his jake. That'll affect everybody in the subdivision. Everybody. There was enough complaints there a number of years ago when somebody built their motocross track there. And we had all hours of the day and night motocross bikes running around that track, disturbing everybody, but nothing happened. So this Jake is gonna be going on the whole time he's coming, coasting down to the stop sign. I walked that road many times there this spring. There's soft spots in the road. Even with the truck not loaded, he's gonna punch that road out. And then what's gonna happen? We're gonna complain to the county, complain to the county, complain to the county, and then eventually we're gonna get the road fixed. But in the meantime, we'll have to put up with roads that are punched out.
Okay, so, is there anyone else that wants to comment on this?
One more hand in the gallery here.
Okay, go ahead.
Lindsay Dummett, I'm kitty corner from the Pennies. Most of Matthews Road, just like Marcel's Road, is hill. It flattens up at the cul-de-sac, and our biggest issue is going to be how much damage is gonna be done to the road. Like even just our own pickups does enough. The grader comes, which is absolutely wonderful, but within 2 days of just normal, very little traffic, it becomes washboard. There's at least 2 soft spots, one on Matthews Road, one on 120, that you get enough rain, it turns, we could hold a mud bog.
Yeah.
So it gets to the point where we're almost scraping belly. So that's kind of a big concern, you big semi coming down it, and I understand the, going slow, but you're still gonna just make it deeper and deeper. And then where are we gonna be? Like I've been down the Thompson Road when they had all those big rig trucks and stuff going when they were developing, and it was horrendous. I just don't wanna see our road become that way.
Yeah,
Okay,
Mr. Chair?
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Burrows.
I'm just gonna speak to the motion again. I think this is all valuable information, and I think this is exactly why we need a site visit, so that we can see things through the perspective of the people on the ground. This isn't, by asking for a site visit, you're not leaning one way or the other, you're not moving in one direction or the other, you're asking to see things from the ground. And I just feel that that's the best way to make a fair shake here. That's it for me.
Yep. Okay, anyone else? If not, I'm going to call a question. Those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand.
I'm in favor, Tracy.
Okay, thank you.
In
Alan?
favor as well, Dell.
Okay, Patricia?
In favor.
Thanks. Patricia, you're in favor? Good.
Yeah, and
That motion then is carried, so we will revisit, we will have a site visit, and then
Schedule that
we will
today.
schedule that again. Yeah, we'll schedule that today.
I'm fine
So-
with that, yep.
Okay, good.
Dave Cush is opposed, just so that's noted.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't see his hand come up. So now, I think we need to have, well, we can go to the next item on the agenda, the information items, and then or do you want a motion to, or do we need a motion? Let's have a motion to schedule a site visit. Can we have a motion?
Well,
That was the motion. I thought that was the
Oh,
motion.
that was the motion. Okay, sorry. So now I guess what we'll do is we will schedule a date. Did you want to do that, Peter, through, maybe the possibility would be our next MPC?
Okay,
Or,
yeah. We could make it on the first Wednesday of June if that. I know Bruce had mentioned that he wishes the applicant to be available with his truck.
Okay.
So we have a number of scheduling things that I'd have to match with. So what's the first
Because
Wednesday?
we'd all be able to be there possibly, so.
We don't have a meeting scheduled for that date already.
No, but it would be,
Okay.
it would be beneficial if we had time to check the calendar for council meetings,
Yeah.
governance and priority meetings. We have several other meetings we
Right.
have to schedule around.
So maybe,
Might I add that the
Yes.
folks that are here, if they've signed in and put their contact info on that list,
Yeah.
when we reschedule this for a decision, we will contact you so you know when you need to be here.
Okay. That sounds good. Okay, so does that make sense then for you, Peter?
it does, yeah.
You organize that?
We will organize it.
Okay,
Likely here by tomorrow, maybe even.
Mr.
go
Chair,
ahead, John.
The FCM is the very next day, the 6th,
Oh, okay.
and I think the entire council's going down there.
No, I'm not.
You're not?
No, I'm not attending either, so.
It might not be on a NBC Wednesday. We'll figure out a good day, appropriate day.
Okay.
I think, then.
Okay, that's fair. Just make sure that the folks that are there know that
Of course.
we're moving in that direction. Okay, so let's move on to 6.1 then. The information items. Has everyone gone through those development permits that were approved by the development officer? And-
Peter,
Go
if I
ahead,
could, I'll make a
Peter.
motion.
Pardon me? Yeah, go ahead, Dave.
I'll make a motion to accept the information items as presented.
Okay. Any discussion? If not, I'll call the question. All those in favor?
In favor?
In favor.
Dell, and I'm in favor.
In favor.
Okay, that motion's carried. So now we'll just go on. So Peter, will we have a meeting on the 6th?
There was not anything scheduled at this point in time.
Okay.
So we will make that next meeting as required.
As required. Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, then I guess we'll just need one more motion, and that will be our meeting for the day. Bruce?
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Okay, all those in favor?
In favor.
In favor.
In favor.
In favor.
Okay, thank you very much. We are adjourned.
Take care, guys. Have a good day.
Yeah, thanks a lot.